Mr. Squidward, welcome to the night shift.
What's going on, everybody? This is Isaiah Leong from the MI6 Sports Network, welcoming you to another episode of The Night Shift. This is episode number 16. Hopefully, you guys are all having a wonderful Tuesday evening, wherever you guys may be today. Anyways, I am joined today by a very, very special guest. We have our MI6 Sports Network super fan, Shardol Gupta, joining me tonight. Shardol, first of all, I want to welcome you onto the night shift. It's great to have you on, man. And how are you doing on this Tuesday night?
Looking forward to the show and some great sports comments.
That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. Shardol, tell the viewers out there a little bit about yourself.
Here, I go to San Jose State University. My major is recreation management, and I just like sports. I just like people sharing their thoughts about sports. I like football. I like basketball. I like just everything of just sports, man. I'm a big sports person, man. It's just me.
Yeah, that's good to hear, man. I think we all here at the MI6 Sports Network are huge sports fans. By the way, guys, make sure you guys comment down below, flood our comment section with great comments. We will be sure to put your comment up here on the program we're going to read your comment out during the show. So make sure you guys comment, sit back, enjoy the show, and we're going to be here for the next hour and a half to entertain you. We already actually have one comment. We have a comment by my good friend Ashwin S. Kumar. He says, tag Shardol. I will do that, Ashwin. I'll do that right after the show. But Shardol, we got to get into the big story leading off this show. As you guys know, the Dodgers win Game 6 over the Tampa Bay Rays. They win their first World Series. They beat the Rays 3-1 to win their first World Series in 32 years. Shardol, I got to ask you, man, what was your reaction to the Dodgers winning the World Series?
I was really happy that they won it because I got to give thanks to my friend Murtaza, who's a big LA Dodgers fan, and he was really excited that they won this because he was honoring just the Kobe and Gianna for passing, so he was trying to make this honor Kobe and passing, because that was a big loss for the Lakers. So I got to give thanks and kudos that the Dodgers won it, because I didn't want to see him Murtaza upset that they didn't win it, like really really tough. So I didn't want to see him in those spirits. I didn't want to see him in those negative spirits. So it's really great to see him and his Dodgers that won, and that's really, really, really wonderful that they won. Anything else that you have to say about that?
Yeah, I think it's great that the Dodgers won. I want to give a shout out to my guy, Jonathan Mathis, who is my co-host here on Wild Sports Talk, as well as Casey King, Angel. We have a bunch of Dodger fans that watch our program every night. I want to give a big congratulations to them. They've waited a long, long time for their team to capture the World Series championship. I want to also give a big congrats to Vasu as well. I know Vasu is a huge Dodger fan, and living up here in the Bay Area and being a Dodger fan can be absolute torture because the Giants and Dodgers, they hate each other with a passion. So Vasu, congratulations as well. But for me, I think, listen, I'm really happy that the Dodgers won this World Series because of, for guys like Clayton Kershaw and Dave Roberts. Dave Roberts has been getting a lot of criticism. I think he's a terrific manager. He's just, haven't been able to get over the hump when it comes to winning the World Series. The Dodgers got close so many times over the years, but yet they would always fall short year in and year out. And he finally gets that monkey off his back, and he finally gets over that hump, and he finally wins the World Series. And now all the people that talked about how Dave Roberts needed to be fired and stuff like that, how he he's a terrible manager. They can't say anything bad about him anymore because he is a champion. And also Clayton Kershaw. Everybody said this guy was a choker and he never got it done in the postseason. Well, this postseason, this guy was fantastic. This guy flipped the script on his postseason record. He was great in the NL wild card. He was great in the NLDS. Not so great in the NLCS, but he bounced back big time in the World Series. So kudos to Dave Roberts and Clayton Kershaw for finally getting it done and helping the Dodgers win the World Series. But Shardol, we got to look on the other side of things. The Tampa Bay Rays. Why did you think that the Rays fell short in this series?
I think that they had enough talent, but some plays they were not able to capitalize on certain plays that they were supposed to capitalize on, and there were some crucial plays that the Rays could really good on to win this game, but they didn't do really good, and that's what really makes me upset is that they had really good plays that they could have done well on, and they just didn't do well on them. It's just really upsetting to say that they could have done better, but they just didn't do that, and that probably led them to losing this game. And I'm upset because I wanted my Rays to win, but I gotta give kudos to the Dodger fans. They're both teams did really well. I mean, they both played really well, but the Dodgers won in this series. They took it. They took the game. And I just gotta give all my best thoughts to both teams, and that this was a really exciting World Series matchup, and that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, Shardol, I completely agree with you. For me, I think the reason why the Rays lost this particular game is because of Kevin Cash, the manager of the Rays' stupid decision to pull Blake Snell in the 6th inning when Blake Snell was dominating in this game. Blake Snell was nasty. He was throwing 98. The Dodgers couldn't hit his slider. The Dodgers couldn't hit his curveball. I mean, this guy only gave up one hit in this game, and it came in the 6th inning with 1 out. He gives up 1 base runner, and the Rays are leading 1-0 at that time. He gives up just 1 base runner, and Kevin Cash pulls Blake Snell out of the game. He goes to Nick Anderson, and boom, just like that, the Dodgers get 2 runs, and that's basically all she wrote right there. That was the move that cost the Rays the World Series. Like, the Rays lost this game because of analytics. Me, Callan, who unfortunately couldn't join us today on the program, he said, we've been talking about how analytics is killing baseball, and I completely agree with him, because when you look at it right now, the managers don't go by their guts anymore. They just don't go by their guts. And if you were looking at old school times, Blake Snell would have never ever been pulled. This guy just gave up 1 hit, 1 mistake, and you pull him out of the game. And it's just super ridiculous, man. And I'm just really, really pissed off at Kevin Cash for pulling Blake Snell out of the game. The guy was just electric tonight. You don't pull a guy out of the game when he's dealing like that. It just really sucks. I'm looking at the comment section. David Tito Rivera says, I was so fed up about Kevin Cash taking out Blake Snell, and he was seriously dominating. I was like, you got to be kidding me. Come on now. Yeah, David, I completely agree with you. That boneheaded move right there cost the Rays a chance to get it to Game 7. I told Callan this in our private group chat. I just told him, analytics are killing the game of baseball. It's killing the game of baseball. You just don't make that move. He just made 1 mistake and you take him out of the game. It's just preposterous, man. Let's see. Christy Wilson, she says, when you have a pitcher who's on fire, you don't pull him. Exactly. You learn that in Little League Baseball. If you have a pitcher that's dealing, you let him finish his job. No matter how many like base runners are on the bases, you let him try to finish it out. And Kevin Cash didn't let Blake Snell do it, and it ended up costing him big time. Ashwin S. Kumar says Shardol Gupta's hairstyle looks like Shreya Nod. Christy Wilson also says, I think this is the first time since 2002 that two LA teams have won championships, the Lakers and the WNBA Sparks. Christy, I think you're right on that. I mean, all we need, Christy, is just for the Rams or the Chargers to win the Super Bowl so LA can have a complete sweep when it comes to the sports championships, football, basketball, and baseball. So hopefully the Chargers or the Rams get it done. But Shardol, let's move on to our second topic, and that is Corey Seager winning World Series MVP. What did you think of it? Did you think Corey Seager deserved to win World Series MVP?
I think he did deserve to win it because he's an amazing player. Like he is the Dodgers are gaining stardom because of him. You know, if he wouldn't have won MVP, then it would probably upset many Dodger fans because he's led this. You know, he's the most famous outfielder, and I'm really happy that he won it because he should have. He played a really amazing game. He really played really good in this game, and you know, I don't know who I don't. They would know be. I don't know. There would be nobody else I would give this award to than him. I mean, he really deserved it. Like, I'm really, you know, I'm not actually saying this actually to say it. I'm actually, you know, saying it. I mean, when I that Corey Seager was, you know, should have received this award. He really did. I mean, I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart as a, you know that this award should have been given to him, no doubt.
Let me ask you this, Shardol, because I saw this debate on Twitter after it was announced that Corey Seager was named World Series MVP. Do you think that Seager should have won it, or do you think that Mookie Betts should have won it? Granted that Mookie Betts in Game 1 he had a really really good game, and today he hits that home run that gives the Dodgers a 3-1 cushion, which they ultimately finished it off. So let me get your thoughts on that.
I think Mookie Betts should have won the MVP award because he has been really amazing in this game of the a leaping catch to the wall where he remember in that game against in the Braves game when Freddie hit that home run in the Braves in the Braves series, and Freeman was about to hit that home run, which was about to seal the game, and the kind of won it at that point. But Mookie Betts came and robbed his home run, which as me as watching the Braves, that really made me really upset that Mookie Betts robbed Freeman of that home run. I thought Freeman was gonna make that home run, but that really made me upset that Mookie Betts robbed Freeman of that home run that he made in the Braves and Dodgers series. That was
you think? Yeah, go ahead.
That Mookie Betts should have won the MVP award and not Corey Seager.
So you think Mookie Betts should have won it instead of Corey Seager?
Yeah, that's what I think. But Corey Seager won it, so you can't disagree about that. If he already won the MVP award, we can't really change the fact that what has happened. We have to accept the fact that Corey Seager won it, and that's it. We can't really go to the past and say Mookie Betts should have won it. He should have won it. That we have to agree that Corey Seager won it, and we have to accept the fact that he won it. You can't go to the past. We can't think about the past. We have to think about the future. Think about Corey Seager that he won it, and be happy about that.
Shardol, I gotta disagree with you. I think that Corey Seager being named World Series MVP, I think that was the right move because when you look, we're not talking about NLCS MVP. We're not talking about NLDS MVP. We're not talking about NL Wildcard MVP. This is the World Series MVP. This is what did you do in this World Series? And in this World Series, I know that Mookie Betts had a fantastic first game offensively and defensively. I get the fact that he hit a giant homer in tonight's game to give the Dodgers that cushion that they needed. But if you look at the stats, Corey Seager did he did more for the Dodgers in this World Series than Mookie Betts. I mean, every game, Corey Seager was a difference maker for the Dodgers. I think like he had 4 hits in game 5, I believe it was. Yeah, no, game 4. And then Game 5, this guy comes up with another clutch hit to pull the Dodgers, or a homer to get the Dodgers in front, and the lead that they would not vanquish. And game 1, game 2, game 3, this guy was just so clutch, so clutch throughout this entire series. I felt like he just did more than Mookie Betts to get the World Series MVP, and that's why I am rolling with Mookie or Corey Seager as the World Series MVP. But I think it's a fair debate, though. I think it's a fair debate.
Don't agree with me that Mookie Betts should have won this World Series MVP award?
I would say Corey Seager deserved it because I just think Corey Seager did more throughout the entire series than Mookie Betts. Like Mookie Betts, hey, I'm not trying to take anything away from him, but he had a great first game, great game tonight. But I just felt like Seager just did way more than Mookie Betts.
Like you're trying to say that Corey Seager was beyond incredible. Like some players are great, but certain players are greater. And they do wonderful things, and
yeah,
Corey Seager should have was deserved to win it because he does amazing things on the field and off the field. He's a great father. He's a great person off the field and on the field. He's pretty deadly on the field as an outfielder, as a shortstop.
Corey Seager. In this World Series, this guy put the team on his back offensively and defensively. Like this guy played amazing defense at shortstop in I believe it was game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4, game 5, and game 6. When the Dodgers needed some guy to come through the most. This guy came through each and every time the Dodgers needed it, whether it was a clutch hit, whether it was a clutch homer, whether it was they needed someone to steal a base. This guy did everything for the Dodgers. I mean, I honestly think that when we look back at this World Series, this will be the beginning of the Corey Seager legend. I think this guy cemented himself in Dodgers lore forever for his performance, not just this season, but in the World Series of this year. So congrats to Corey Seager and congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers for winning the World Series. Shardol, let's move on to our third topic, and that is the NFL. The Denver Broncos, they have been struggling as of late. The Denver Broncos currently I believe they're 2-4. Yes, they're 2-4, and their quarterback Drew Lock, who injured his shoulder back in week 2 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. He missed a couple of weeks due to that. He came back, and in the 2 games that he's played, one against the New England Patriots and the second game against the Kansas City Chiefs, Drew Lock has passed for 189 yards against the Patriots, 254 yards against the Chiefs, with 0 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Shardol, I got to ask you, man, Drew Lock has struggled big time since he's come back. The Broncos are 2-4. Vic Fangio needs to have at least a 500 season or above to save his job. Do you believe that right now is the time for the Broncos to bench Drew Lock?
I think it is the to do that because if a quarterback is not having a good game, you have to bench him, and and then that'll give him a little time to work on his game a little better. And when he's ready to come back, they'll take him off the bench and he can play his game. Because if he's doing horribly, you don't want to put him in the game because he's going to continue to do horribly. If you bench him, he's going to learn from his mistakes, what he's made in the past, and then they'll take him off the bench and bring him back in the game and see if he'll learn, the mistakes that he made and certain that he won't make those mistakes again. Because quarterbacks are, the biggest, like, they're on the team, they're like the most important player on the team. Like in hockey, you have the goalie, who's very important. He's the guy who stops all the goals, and in football, the quarterback is like the general of football. He's like the guy who leads the plays, makes all the crucial plays and everything. And I think I do agree with you that they should bench him, because they're having a terrible season, right now, 2-4, which is not the best record we love to see, but we like to see better. But we don't like to see such a bad record like 2-4. So I do agree with you that we should bench him. I definitely agree 100% that we should bench Drew Lock.
Well, for me, actually, I would disagree with you because I don't think the Broncos should bench Drew Lock, because I think right now the Denver Broncos are 2-4, right? They're not going to win the AFC West, obviously. I don't know what I was saying earlier when I predicted the Broncos to win the AFC West. It was such a boneheaded decision on my part to predict the Broncos to win the AFC West.
What the are you looking at?
But listen, the Broncos, they have some winnable games coming up. They really do. They have the Denver Broncos right now. They have this Sunday, they play the Los Angeles Chargers in Los Angeles. It's a winnable game. Then they play the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. Atlanta's a terrible team. I mean, this team is choking left and right. And then by the way, what's up, guys? We have my guy, John Alcorn, joining us today. John, first of all, welcome to the program, man. Glad to have you on. How are you doing?
Dude, I'm in a good mood. I just got done with around my episode, and I'm calming down from that Cowboys situation that we talked about. The neighbors did not call because I was too loud, so that was a good thing.
Hey, really great to see you on the show, man. Really,
What's up, man? How's it going?
You got some knowledge, man. Knowledge.
It's years of research,
John,
dude. Watching film. I mean, it didn't happen overnight.
Doing what you've done, you know your stuff. Keep doing that.
John, we were getting into
researching.
Yeah, you researched a lot of stuff, so yeah, you know a lot of stuff. Definitely not disagreeing about that.
So back to our topic, John. Shardol, like we were getting into the question: should the Denver Broncos bench Drew Lock, who has struggled big time and has been ineffective ever since returning from a shoulder injury? Shardol says that the Denver Broncos should bench him because he has struggled big time. You're a Broncos fan. I want your perspective on this topic.
And Drew Lock just on Instagram, but me being on the show, so I'm gonna be very clear about what I say.
You got to be nice.
No, I'm gonna be honest, but I'm gonna be nice about it because I think he's a cool dude. I think he has that it factor. No, because who do they have? Bryce Ripon? I mean, at this point, unless you had Ryan Fitzpatrick as your backup, or maybe at best Nick Foles, there's absolutely no way. It makes no sense that you should bench him. It's a shoulder injury, bro. That's what a quarterback uses to throw. It's called throwing motions. You're going to see a guy try to adjust in the pocket when a defender's trying to get him. That's the shoulder, really, right here. But that takes time. I don't think he should have came back as early as he did. No, they shouldn't bench him because who is their alternative at this point?
Yeah, I completely agree with you, John. I was saying this to Shardol. I don't think the Broncos should bench Drew Lock because right now they have a couple of winnable games. Oh, John's he's having technical difficulties. We apologize for that. But like I was saying, I don't think the Broncos should bench Drew Lock because the Broncos have a couple of winnable games coming up. They've got the Chargers, they've got the Falcons, they got a couple of games against the Raiders. They've got, I believe, a couple of games against who else? Yeah, they have the Chargers, the Falcons, and they've got Carolina, which is another winnable game. They have the Raiders a couple of times. So, I mean, they can honestly, they have, 5, 6 games that are winnable. They could honestly go 5-1 and, get back into this wild card picture in the AFC. So, Broncos should not bench Drew Lock. He is the best option. They have Brett Ripien. I mean, this guy threw 3 interceptions against the Jets defense. He made the Jets defense look like the second coming of the 1985 Bears. It was an embarrassment. Jeff Driscoll, I don't even know if he's returned from injury yet. I think the last time we saw him, didn't he hurt his shoulder or something like that? Yeah, but Drew Lock's the best option. Can't bench Drew Lock. Vic Fangio, keep that guy in. He's your starting quarterback. But we're going to move on to our fourth topic, and we're going to stay in the NFL, and that is a trade that happened today in the NFL where the Detroit Lions made a very, very surprising move. I see John is already shaking his head, but John, I'm going to go to you first. The Detroit Lions acquired veteran defensive end Eversen Griffen from the Dallas Cowboys today. What do you think of that move, my friend?
It means absolutely nothing for the Detroit Lions. Not because he isn't a great player, because it's Detroit. They can't develop defensive players. They got Damian Harrison from the Giants years ago. Now he's on the practice squad for the Seattle Seahawks. I think it means everything in a negative way for the Dallas Cowboys. They practically kicked you in the you-know-what, stole the candy from your baby, and the parents just did nothing. I mean, Dallas is already going to trade so many players. It doesn't help Detroit because they can't develop players. Your head coach is already on the hot seat. You're probably going to lose your GM. It means nothing for Detroit, even though it looks good for them. But considering they've already traded 2 or 3 of their star defensive players, I don't see at this point how it helps Detroit, considering they're probably a wildcard team in terms of a top pick next year.
All right, man. Shardol, how about you? What is your thoughts about the Detroit Lions acquiring Eversen Griffen from the Dallas Cowboys in a trade today that sent a 6th-round pick to Dallas?
Because they don't because the Detroit he was good on. I mean, I don't know a lot to say about this topic. That's all.
Oh, okay. Listen, I'm gonna give my thoughts on it. Well, actually, I'm gonna go to the comment section first before I give my thoughts on it. Christy Wilson says, I think Mookie should have been named MVP, but I'm not mad about Seager getting the honor. He deserved it. I completely agree with you, Christy. Corey Seager, I felt like did more than Mookie Betts in this series, so I think he deserved it. I mean, I wouldn't be mad if Mookie got it. They both deserved it. So congrats to Corey Seager. Christy Wilson also says Drew Lock may have come back from his injury too early, in my opinion. John, what is your thoughts on that?
For common sense. Matthew Stafford's a perfect example. That's it.
And then Christy Wilson also says that trade surprised me. A 6th-round pick. Shaking my head. Listen, my thoughts on this is I'm surprised, John. I really am. I'm surprised because Detroit, a couple of weeks ago, we thought that Matt Patricia was a goner. We thought that he was gone, but Detroit has rallied back. They've won the last 2 games, and now they're 3-3. And now, who knows? They might be in position to get a wild card or get one of the final wild card spots in the NFC. I mean, they do have a couple of winnable games coming up in the month of November, but I mean, it helps their pass rush because they desperately needed pass rush, and it was a good deal because they got him for cheap, a 6th-round pick for a player caliber of Eversen Griffen. But I don't think this is honestly going to really affect how the Lions stand right now in the NFC.
We've heard this story before. The Lions. Oh my gosh, the Lions have a winning record right now. Something either always happens or it's Detroit. Matt Patricia's already going to get fired after the year. We know that, and then you deserve to lose for the next 100 years. But it's Detroit. Had winning records before with Matt Patricia for the first couple of games or so, and then it goes downhill. So we'll see what happens.
All right, we have a comment from David Tito Rivera. He says, and speaking of the NFL, the Buccaneers got Antonio Brown. I want to get your guys' thoughts on it because we never really talked about it that much here on the program. John, I'm going to start with you first before I go to Shardol. What do you think about the Buccaneers getting Antonio Brown? I know I said, I think it was on No BS on Friday, that if right now the Buccaneers, if they don't win the Super Bowl, it's going to be like the Dodgers losing those World Series back in 2017 and 2018. Massive disappointment for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I would think the season should be considered a major failure if you don't win it. What do you think about it, though?
I think Antonio Brown, as they do, I think here's the thing. I think deep down, I think he's a good dude. I think everybody has that. Like, I feel bad because I used to clown on Instagram, but now it's like I don't do that anymore because it's just not right. And I see people on Instagram clown, and it's like I definitely think deep down he's a good dude. I think he still leads the league in efficiency, whatever, since 2010. He hadn't played in about almost 2 years. Rob Parker, if you ever see this, we made a bet. I think I told you about this, Isaiah. If the Bucs make the playoffs, you owe me wings and a Diet Coke, and I have the DMs to show it, but I'm obviously not going to show the DMs. But that's basically kind of a rundown of that. The Bucs, Tom Brady. Did you see some of the throws he made last week? At 43 years old, he's on pace to be the oldest NFL MVP. And I just picked up Antonio Brown almost a week ago in the free agency. So next week when he comes back, I got him. Ryan Tannehill, now I trade for Ezekiel Elliott. Now it's like, dude, it's going to be awesome. I think it helps with Chris Godwin getting some surgery. If he's out for a couple of games, you got him, Mike Evans, Bray, and Rob Gronkowski. I think it's a great signing for both teams. And I think Tom Brady obviously gets a lot more say in this because he's been in 9 Super Bowls. He has some say in it. I think they had that chemistry in New England when he played for a game or two. And I think that he saw – this is my opinion. I don't know. I don't speak for Tom Brady. I think he saw the side of Antonio Brown that we haven't seen in a long time. Because I believe he does have that charisma. I believe he is – it's not my saying I don't know him. But I just me not saying – I don't think he's – I won't say that he's a clown. I don't think he is. He's acting like it, but I think that deep down he's a good dude. And I think it's what Tom Brady saw. Tom Brady doesn't just – want anybody to see. When was the last time Tom Brady ever did that or vouched for somebody? Ever. Exactly. I think that's a very special thing with him. And Bucs already have been going to the Super Bowl. Now you got Antonio Brown with that speed. Yes, he's 32, but he's been keeping in shape. He's been keeping healthy. I mean, Tom Brady's 18 TDs, 4 picks already. He's already a chance for MVP. That's without the offensive line. That's been a concern. I think it's a great thing for them. Offensive, defensively, it gives maybe Leonard Fournette more time to maybe get adjusted, to get a couple carries here and there. Maybe it relieves the load of the dual threat ability of both running backs in terms of the passing ability, because now you have an extra receiver. If Chris Godwin goes out, yes, that's unfortunate because they didn't get him in free agent or the trade, but now you have an extra receiver who has played Tom Brady for a short time, so he knows how he is, and he's played with Big Ben. It's a great thing overall, and I think with Tampa, this gives him the advantage. I already said no excuses for Tampa Bay this year. And I told Rob Parker, if I'm wrong, then I'll fly to LA and I'll give you wings and a Diet Coke. I can promise you that. But I think it's a great signing. I don't think it harms him either way. I think this is great. And there's already no excuses before. There's definitely no excuses now. Tom Brady's had the most pressure in his career this year.
Shardol, what do you think about this move? Tampa Bay getting Antonio Brown.
Really made in my opinion because Antonio Brown was really good in Pittsburgh. He played really well there, and now he's bringing that talent to Tampa Bay, which is, to me, in my opinion, that's one of the best things they've done. And there's no arguing that he's the best because he's the most prolific in NFL history. He's a future first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a 7-time Pro Bowler, 4-time first-team All-Pro, and he's the best catcher of his generation. Like, he's one of the most famous players on that the Buccaneers have. And despite only playing the equivalent of 9 NFL seasons, he currently ranks 35th on the NFL's all-time list for both receiving yards and touchdown receptions, and 20 receptions. So he's a playmaker, a surgical route runner. He has 841 receptions for 11,263 yards and 131 career games. So it's really amazing that they brought Antonio Brown to the Buccaneers to bring that talent that he had in Pittsburgh, and he's coming on over to Tampa Bay so he can partner up with Brady and Rob Gronkowski, who used to play in both of them used to play in New England, but now they're.
Yeah, for me, this signing makes
It's really
the Tampa
amazing
Bay.
why Antonio
Go ahead,
Brown
Phil.
came to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think that's a really amazing move because they're making the Buccaneers as stronger. They're making than they already are. Like, they're already really strong, but when you bring Antonio Brown to the team, they get even much more stronger because they have Brady and they have Gronkowski. That, in my opinion, in the NFL, even stronger than the 49ers, the Jets, the Giants, all those other great teams in the NFL. They're really better than those teams with Antonio Brown coming to bring his talent to this talented football club.
I completely agree with you guys. I think this signing makes the Tampa Bay offense ridiculously good. I mean, listen, they don't even need Antonio Brown to be the Antonio Brown of old. I think, John, you can agree with me on this. They only need Antonio Brown to be 60% or even 50% of what he once was, and it will make the offense even better than what it is right now. I mean, you have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. He's been out often this entire year. He's probably going to come back for the playoffs. I mean, they just need him for the playoffs because that's what Tampa's building for. They're building for the playoffs. This team just got ridiculously better, man. And I honestly don't see any team right now in the NFC. Maybe the Chiefs that could stop the Buccaneers from winning the Super Bowl. But John, what do you think about that?
It's after all these injuries this year, it is the Chiefs and the Bucks pending a Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce injury. I think with Tom, and I've said this is Tom Brady's proved me wrong time and time again. I can win this for all my pride. I was wrong. Brady, you proved me wrong. 18 to these four picks. They didn't need him, but I think it helps. Imagine with his speed and route running, what they can do. I had the Saints missing the playoffs. The Panthers, I was excited about, but the offensive line, and of course the Falcons, who are frauds. So I think really for the Bucks, there's absolutely no excuses now. Somehow people compare Breeze to Brady, which is the absolute dumbest thing on the planet. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry to say that, folks. Breeze versus Brady. You see those throws that Brady made? Imagine with Antonio Brown. Now, mind you, Gronk and Brown did not play together in New England because Gronk retired for a year. But I think with those personalities together and how hard they work, people may question Gronk's personality sometimes or Antonio Brown's. Fairly justifiable. But how they cannot question how hard these men work. And I think that's one of the biggest things that they bring to the table. Even if Antonio Brown has a good game, you have Gronk having that extra blocking attack. It's a great signing. I think the Bucks are going to the Super Bowl. And Rob Parker, get your dipper cut ready for wings and a Diet Coke.
Yeah, man, I completely agree with you. It's going to be Chiefs versus Bucks, barring an injury to Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, or Travis Kelce. I can't wait for that matchup, honestly. It's going to be so much fun. I honestly think we might see like a 48-42 shootout, which would be so great considering like last year's Super Bowl was good, but considering the Super Bowl that we had with the Rams and the Patriots, that was just a complete crap show. But let's move on to our final segment before we get into final thoughts. It's a brand new segment here on the MI6 Sports Network. We're going to be doing this on the night shift on Saturdays now instead of Tuesday. We just did it on Tuesday tonight to debut it. It's called Bloopers of the Week. Every Saturday, we will show you guys 4 bloopers in sports, and just have some fun with it. I mean, me, John, and Cal, and whoever else that joins the night shift, we're just gonna be laughing our head off at some of these bloopers that roll in. So, are you guys ready for
And
number
no,
4?
folks, this is not Isaiah's crazy takes with Nick Mullins or anybody else. So it's a joke,
It's
but yeah.
not. It's not. Yeah. So, number 4, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna go with something that happened this Sunday. I think John saw that play because it was in his Broncos Chiefs game. It is this play by Melvin Gordon.
It's a 1st and 10. Flea flicker, bad toss by Gordon. It's picked up by Kansas City. And it was grabbed by Clark in the backfield, vacuums it in. Turnover, fumble.
What is your reaction to this play, fellas? My reaction is, Melvin Gordon, you are a running back for a reason. What are you doing trying to throw the ball like over your head to Drew Lock? I don't get it, John. John Shardol, take it away.
You should have thrown the ball away, even if it looks like crazy, because Melvin Gordon, I'm sorry, but you should be gone from the Broncos after the DUI. I've lost complete respect for you as a football player, and this is like I'm being totally serious on that. And now what are you doing? As much as I want my Broncos to win, this is the Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick, barring him losing both of his legs, or like being blind, this is almost as bad as that Colts 4th down punt play versus the New England Patriots years ago. Pat McAfee talked about that, and I almost got him on the show. And the problem is when certain players think in the moment, you get emotional, and that can be turned against you, and that's what he did. How does that happen? Like, I get you have mental mistakes, but what are you even in Madden? You can't do that. And Madden 21 is the worst Madden of all time. I know I got blocked by EA for trying to email them because their game is garbage. That type of glitch only happens in Madden. But no, it happened in real life. I can't wrap my head around it. I never wanted him on my team. Melvin Gordon, I hope you're gone. I'm talking about you as a player, not a person. As a player, please leave my Denver Broncos. Like, that alone makes me concerned for the rest of the season, especially with the Raiders with their bye week. I know you repeat myself, but how does that happen? Isaiah, how does that happen? Or Shardol, or probably pronouncing your name wrong, but how does that happen? Like, out of all the dumb things on the planet, which is worse, folks? That or the Daniel Jones tripping 80 yards to the end zone? That's all I have, because I would be here all night.
Shardol, what's your thoughts on that fail Melvin Gordon flea flicker?
It happened, man. You can't make mistakes like this in a game. You can't make mistakes like this in a game. Why you don't make in an NFL game, you don't make mistakes like that. Focus, don't make stupid stuff like that, okay? Focus on what you're doing. Don't make idiotic stuff like that, okay? Focus on your game and don't make stupid stuff like that, okay? This is an NFL game. Do that when on the side, do that not while in a game, do that on the side when you're not on the field, when you're by yourself, you're practicing, then do it that's when you practice those stuff. Don't do that on the professional field, okay? Don't do that. It's not right, okay? It's not right. It's not right in any way. It's 0% bad, okay? It's 0%. It's practically the worst thing you could ever do in an NFL game, really. I'm actually laughing my head off right now because it's so funny. It is so freaking funny. It's anything, man. He just made the worst move of his life, Melvin Gordon. Whoever that guy who did that block, whatever that happened in that play you showed me, that was the funniest play I've ever seen. I can't stop laughing, man. That's so funny, man. That's the greatest blunder, greatest blooper in history.
Wait,
Gordon, whatever pick. Was that a pick?
No, it was he tossed it back to Drew Lock and it ended up being a fumble, and the Chiefs recovered it, and then they scored a touchdown
It's
on that
really
play.
bad.
It's butt
Yeah.
fumble 2.0.
It's a really bad fumble.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen. Oh,
Full player, I would not be. I would. If I was a coach and I saw that, I would literally freaking lose my mind. I would go like, I can't watch this anymore. I'm a coach. I can't watch this anymore. Just get the guy off the field. Fire the guy. I don't need to see the guy anymore. Just get the guy off the field. Just do more stuff like that in his career, in his whole NFL. Watch that clip again.
All right. Christy Wilson says, I like the flea flicker, but that was really bad. Listen, John, I think I know why Melvin Gordon tried that. He was trying to show the quarterback on that other sideline, Patrick Mahomes, that, hey, Patrick Mahomes, I can do what you do. I can do what you do. So he was trying that, and he tried that. I'm just done with it. That was one of the most silliest things I've ever.
you can't beat Patrick Mahomes. On top of that, when this happens, I like to go to my Instagram and tag that dude and play that video. Because how do you? Nobody can be like ever Patrick Mahomes. I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen. But when there's no logical way where that comes out or it's a successful play. Let's say you get the ball off the Drew Lock. How many yards do you think you're going to get? Half a yard at best. It blows my mind how stupid he was being on that play.
All right, let's move on to our third blooper of the week, and this one involves Boise State in their classic blue turf. It happened Saturday night. Boise State against Utah State. John's already laughing. He knows what's coming on. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what you need. Boots it right into his own teammate. This ball is free. Aggies recover. Nick Henninger picks it up.
And recovered.
Velasquez spiked it into it. Looked like Bates.
Utah State team needed more than some stops. Needed something like a turnover. And, of course, it's not truly a turnover. It would have been their ball anyway. But this is exactly what they needed. Boom. I don't know that I've ever seen that one. Yeah, just kind of hits the extended arm of Bates right there.
If it got by the bait.
He punted it off the back of his own teammate for a 38-yard loss. I don't think I've ever seen that in my entire life of watching football. I mean, I've watched football for like 17 years. And in my 17 years, I thought I saw everything that I needed to know about watching football. But on Saturday, Boise State said, nope, you haven't seen everything. And they punted off his own teammates back for a 38-yard loss. David Tito Rivera comments saying, oh, God, with a laughing emoji. John, I'm going to go to you first. What's your reaction?
Mr. Harbaugh, coach of Michigan, that play has been replaced. I don't know. What were you thinking? Were you thinking about something or someone? I'll leave y'all to think what do you think I'm saying. How do you think in any logical way? Like, you don't have to be a legit kicker in the NCAA. And I know good kicker. I know Justin Tucker. Not personally, but like that kick. Can't you see? Like you plan in your head. If I kick it like this, just like in bowling, your foot's gonna go this way, which means the ball's probably gonna go that way, unless you twist your foot or the wind goes this way. In what possible way did he think it was gonna go over his head? How weak does your foot have to be? And maybe something else is weak there too. Again, that's up for interpretation. But how do you kick your kicker in the back of the head? Was this like a Comedy Central sketch here? I don't know the punter's name. But, dude, you're not going to make it in the NFL. Like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but you're not going to make it. How do you do that? Like, you're a punter. No disrespect to punters. The punter for the Rams has got special team player of the week. But a punter kicking it what's his teammates back of the head, correct, Isaiah?
Back of the head, exactly.
I can't imagine what's going through his head before. Like, in what way? I'm trying to figure out, looking at my foot right now. If I kick it even like that, even at high momentum, it's still going over his head. His foot must be the size of a toddler, because there's no way how that just makes any sense. I'm trying to with my foot because I have football right here. It doesn't make sense. How did that happen? And I would love to be a fly on that locker room after that game.
Shardol, what is your thoughts on Boise State's punter punting the ball off his own teammate's back and for a 38-yard loss? Shardol, we got you? I think we're having some technical difficulties, unfortunately, on Shardol's side. We'll try to check back in with Shardol after. Shardol, we got you? Shardol, do we got you?
I don't know. Maybe his is. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Hey, dude, put your thumbs up if you can hear us. Okay, so he can hear us, but we can't hear him. So either something maybe not plugged in or me, I don't know, because he can hear us because he heard what I said.
Yeah, he can hear what you were saying.
Oh, no.
Shardol, try to log out and log back in like before. But all right, but guys, while we're waiting for Shardol, let's move to our second blooper of the week. This one, it was a crazy blooper. Well, it's not really a blooper. It was a crazy play that resulted in two bloopers in the same play, and it happened in Game 4 of the World Series between the Dodgers and the Tampa Bay Rays in the bottom of the ninth inning, with the Dodgers up 7-6 in this game. Let's check it out.
Jansen. That is into center field. Here comes Kiermaier. Phillips has tied the game. Arose Arena coming around. Throw home. Now he stumbles. But the ball gets away. Tampa Bay wins it. Brett Phillips, Game 4 hero.
John, here's my takeaways from this. There was 3 bloopers in this one. First of all, the guy in the outfield, the center fielder, Chris Taylor, Bob, like he tries to charge the ball that was hit to him, or the base hit. He tries to charge it, he misplays it, and then he tries to makes a throw to first, and Max Muncy, the first baseman, tries to make a throw home, and the tying run had already scored. Randy Arozarena, the runner he's coming around third. He trips, falls flat on his face. I don't know if you saw that. He falls flat on his face, and he thinks that he is going to be out, but the catcher, Will Smith, who is facing the other side, he misses the throw. He just misses the throw from the first baseman. He misses the throw, tries to tag the runner, but the ball goes into the other area, or into I think it went into the Dodgers dugout. What's your thoughts on that play?
He's taking advice from Evan Gordon and Daniel Jones. And I get thinking in the moment, how there must have been so many things going through his brain. How does that happen? I know we keep talking about this in sports, but no, truly, in our brain, in our thoughts, how could that ever happen? I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know if they were thinking in the moment here and getting for the World Series, but I don't know. These are just making me laugh, man. I don't know. I can't even think straight right now.
David Tito Rivera says, I seriously got to share that highlight video on Facebook. It's so hilarious. He is referring to the Boise State punter putting the ball off his own teammate's back. Yeah, like I listen, I've saw that play many times, and I still die laughing from that play. Christy Wilson says, insane World Series moment there. Yeah, that was insane. That was actually a play that I thought cost the Dodgers the World Series. But hey, kudos to the Dodgers. They came back strong and they captured the World Series tonight. And David Tito Rivera says, I mean, a Boise State. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that play, listen, that play is going to live in infamy forever, man. Like, there's just like, John, we've watched football for so long, and you've never seen that play ever in your entire life of watching football, right?
I've seen a lot, and just that Boise State thing reminds me of the Adam Sandler movie when he was playing football. He just what characters he makes him Happy Gilmore. It's like either you're pissed at your partner, or you're just a complete moron as a football player. It makes me laugh, but it just keeps me thinking. Like, we both have watched so much football. I've done so much film watching. That only has a -1% of the time, and it happened. Versus Harbaugh, you've been redeemed of that play.
David Tito Rivera says, I'm definitely going to share it right now. Hey, go ahead and share it, man. It's got to be right now in the entire college football season. It's got to be the blooper of the year thus far in college football. Let's move on to the final blooper of the week. And I think you guys know where I'm going with this one. If you guys didn't watch the game on Thursday night last week, well, here it is.
Pretty good against them then.
Yes.
From the 12, Jones keeps, gets a block, takes off, and he is gone. Trying to stay upright, and he trips. Absolutely all alone, and he trips. Going to the end zone and ends up carrying it as it is.
John, I'm going to let you take the floor first on this one. I'm just dying laughing. Go ahead, man. The floor is yours.
All I can think of is he either let out a big fart or was going to and was trying to time it right, or there's no B, C, and D. It's A, all the above. How does this happen? Not even with the shoelace. Like, to me, in my opinion, this is worse than a butt fumble, is it proves he's a more mobile Eli Manning. Like, there's nobody around. Not the air, not a black cat running across the field with a ladder or anything like that. There's as much football as I've watched. I've seen guys trip over their own foot or do all kinds of things. But running 80 yards down the field in a probably a division ceiling or a division clinching game in terms of getting higher up in the division, competing for the playoffs. I say, you've seen a lot of football, and Shardol, you probably have too. I don't understand, like, how does that happen? It's surreal in my mind. This should be on Comedy Central or something, like a blooper reel on social media, because to me, that is the absolute worst one. Because there's nobody within 10, 15 plus yards. Somehow he outruns guys. I know Daniel Jones outrunning people. And you trip. I don't even see. He didn't trip over his own foot. I think he just, he got someone mad and it got to his head. I think he tripped. I don't know. He didn't trip over his foot, did he, Azam?
No, I don't think he tripped over his own foot. I just think
No.
this Max Kellerman said something on First Take that really resonated with me. He said that Daniel Jones on that play, his body was ahead of his feet. His body was ahead of his feet. And that exactly looked like what happened. His body was going way faster than his feet. I think that's what happened. Shardol, we have you back, man. What is your reaction to that Daniel Jones tripping on that 80-yard run?
I was really talented by him because you see Daniel Jones as a passer. You don't see him as a runner. Like that, he's a quarterback run, but it was a really amazing how he had so much speed. He was able to run 80 yards down the field. And I hope, and it would be really amazing if he would capitalize on it and actually score the touchdown while running 80 yards. It's that's why it's so funny because he tripped. Like to me, it was like a horror. Like I was watching a horror movie. You know, when the person's running and he trips and then he's not able to get up, so the stalker, whoever the killer, comes and kills the guy. Like in a horror movie when trying to run away from the killer. And then he's not able to run away, so he falls down, and then he gets the killer like captures him, whoever the person, and actually like stabs him and kills him. It was like I was watching a freaking horror movie on TV or something. Like that's how scary that was. Everybody's saying it's like a horror movie. That looks like a freaking horror movie. That run looks like a horror movie. Joke. It was like exactly like 100% horror movie. Seriously, 100%.
Gotcha.
Wait, I could understand. Sorry, I could
go ahead,
understand.
Jack,
Yeah.
Like
That's what I thought about
life for a second.
Daniel Jones 80 yards touchdown, the 80-yard run.
Go ahead, John.
I could maybe understand. I mean, I don't understand how it happened. But I can understand like when something happens so fast, it seems so surreal, and finally when it comes up to you,
do you have
you're
any
like kind of trip.
any thoughts on the run, on the Daniel Jones run?
Yeah, I'll talk about it after John goes. Go ahead, John.
Like when something happens
His
so
screen's
fast.
Isaiah's screen's all blank now. I can't even see Isaiah.
And basically, it's like something happens so fast, and it finally gets into your head, like it's surreal. But then when you finally realize it, you're like, oh God! So then by the time you think about it, you tripped or you messed up. I think that's exactly what happened with Daniel Jones. He finally cut through. Oh my gosh! Look what I did! And by the time you thought about that, oops, I'm on the ground. And I think that's kind of what happened there. I get it, but bro, that could have helped. Didn't they lose? Wait, that was versus who was it again?
Wait, what?
Who were they playing last week?
The Eagles. The Eagles.
Didn't the Eagles? Yeah, I mean I'm not saying I would have set the game, but I probably gonna set the momentum for the rest of the game. And obviously, there's a lot of other faults why they lost that game, but I could at least help them play better, even if they lost. Despite after that touchdown, I mean, how do you trip? Like, there's just no way. Like, how? Unless you're thinking about something or someone that's left up to interpretation yet again.
Yeah, dude, I don't know how he tripped. It was like it was like so crazy what happened. But hey, all these bloopers that we've shown, they have all been really crazy bloopers. The Boise State one, the Melvin Gordon flea flicker, the Rays Dodgers play, the Daniel Jones trip. But let me go into the comments section real quick. Christy Wilson says that Daniel Jones moment resulted in a lot of memes. That it certainly did. David Tito Rivera, this is so hilarious. That is so hilarious. It was, man. And John, it's been a great show, man. But I think it's time to segue into our final segment for tonight. It's time to segue into final thought.
Well,
John, thank you for coming on the program on such short notice with me tonight. Really appreciate you. What is your final thoughts for tonight's show?
Daniel Jones, you have become a meme for a very long time, and don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. Number 2, Melvin Gordon. I don't know what in heck's green earth you were thinking about. Number 3, that kicker, that punter, probably damages his chance maybe in the NFL as a punter, even though people don't like punters. And 4th, Drew Lock should not be benched, and I'm not saying that so he won't come on the show, but I don't think he should be benched because you have no other option right now.
All right. Shardol, thanks for coming on the show, man, tonight. Really, really appreciate you. Thank you for being such a great fan of the MI6 Sports Network. What is your final thoughts tonight, my man?
Is muted? Oh.
We got you. We got you.
Be part of the show. It was to me it was like my debut kinda, so it's kinda special for me. You know, MI6 Sports super fan who comes and watches the show every single day. So yeah, it was really nice to be part of the show for once. I felt like part of the MI6 Sports crew, like crew. That's how I felt today. Like I felt like I was like you do the show every day. It was really amazing to be part of the show. You with all you guys, you John, everybody, the show. And I can't thank you any much for inviting me on the show today, giving me this wonderful honor to be on.
Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, no problem, dude. Really,
Being with
really
all of you guys, because you all are wonderful people, and that's from the bottom of my heart. I'm trying to say all of those comments.
Hey, we appreciate it, man. We really, really appreciate your love and support for the network. My final thoughts tonight is I want to thank our viewers for watching the show. I want to thank Ashwin Kumar. I want to thank David Tito Rivera. I want to thank Edward Lee, Christy Wilson. Let's see. Yeah, yep, that's all the viewers that watched and commented tonight. I want to thank you guys all for watching the show and flooding our comment section with excellent comments. Thank you guys, for always watching our programs. We really appreciate you guys. And if you guys want to send in some bloopers that me, John, or Callan we missed in the sports world, if you want to send it in, like for this week's version of blooper of the week, send it to us before Friday, or no, before next week Friday, so we could prepare a reel and present it to you on next week's edition of the Night Shifts blooper of the week. But that's gonna do it for us, man. Isaiah, John, and Shardol signing off. It was a great program tonight. Hope you guys all have a wonderful rest of your night. Stay healthy, stay safe, ladies and gentlemen, and we will see you guys all on Wednesday's night's episode of Wild Sports Talk. Good night, everybody.